Man, dudes be jealous. Dudes be jealous. Dudes be fake. They be switching up on you. Um, Backstabbing. You know, talking about you behind your back. Inconsistent. Unreliable. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is, man. Dudes are different, man, nowadays. Even when I was younger, man, the dudes I was cool with used to have some weird ways about them. And I know you may say, "Oh, not nobody's perfect." Everybody got their weird tendencies, but it just was really like just sneaky a lot of the times. It's sneaky and backstabbing, but it was just much easier to make friends back in the early 2000s than it is now. Nowadays, man, dudes just be on some weirdo stuff and some different type of time type of stuff. And with me, what my issue is jealousy, man. A lot of dudes I try to be cool with be jealous of me because I have more. You know what I'm saying? Because I own my own home, because I have a lot of sneakers and a lot of clothes and jewelry and know how to dress, and I'm not a bad looking dude. And I can't really help that. But I don't brag about that. I don't make that something, to try to say I'm better than you or anything like that, because I like to dress and be well nice. But I grew up poor. That's the reason why I am the way I am. I grew up with a selfish mom who could afford to give me nice things when I was in middle school. You know what I'm saying, and a little bit of high school before I was dropped out or whatever, or was expelled rather. So now that I can afford it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I played catch up a lot of the times. I slowed down. I used to be way worse with buying sneakers and stuff like that, and jewelry and all this stuff. But yeah, man, that's the reason. But I could always tell dudes be jealous once I, let them in, let them get a little too close, and let them see how I'm living in my life. And then they see how my female treats me, how she gives me king's treatment, how she's willing to cook for me at the drop of a dime, and seeing that she's not bad looking, and see how she actually loves me and cares about me, you know. A lot of dudes, they fake, man. You could see it. You could see it. I could just see it, man, right away, and they be cool at first, but again, once they get to see how my life and see how I'm living, they realize that it doesn't compare. So they kind of fall back a little bit, or yeah, and I can see it. You know, a lot of dudes I've been cool with since I've gotten older have been from work, because a lot of people you work with, you see them every day. You see them sometimes more than you see the people you live with, depending on the different work hours and the people in your household. Or your girlfriend or your parents, however old you are watching this video, your wife, whatever, however, whoever it is. A lot of times you see the people you work with just as much, if not more, depending if you work 40 hours a week or if you're putting in overtime as well. And I was working a warehouse job where, a lot of times it was some late nights. So I would see people often. And I did a video about this, but your coworkers are not your friends, and I had to also learn that the hard way. But yeah, man, a lot of dudes, not a lot, but just a few, less than a handful of dudes, I became really close with from the job, because building furniture and working with furniture, you really gotta work together, and and be safe and be careful of having each other's back and stuff like that. So you get to talk to each other while you're working together, get to really know a person, you become cool with them. You end up hanging out outside of work and stuff like that. And that's always going to be a mistake, man. That's always going to be a mistake. You may have a few guys who may say, "Nah, we link up from time to time," and linking up to the bar, if you drinking is what you do, or if y'all link up for food, if that's what y'all do now and then, every so often, for you guys from work, that's fine. But actually like chilling and trying to be cool with dudes from you work with, nah. And I don't want to make this video about coworkers, but I just want to say a lot of dudes I were cool with. I've been cool with since I've been older. We're dudes from work, and again, those dudes see how I'm living. I see how compared to how they living, and it's just jealousy right off the rip. And you just realize, man, you can't relate to a lot of dudes. Maybe even you watching this, you try to be cool with dudes. Maybe you meet them at the gym, or maybe you met them through a friend of a friend or a family member. You realize, man, this dude has some weird tendencies. You know, we just don't see eye to eye. I don't like his thought process. Maybe he's too thirsty of a dude. Maybe he goes after every woman he sees. Maybe he's always staring at people. Maybe just something about him you don't like. Something about him doesn't sit right with you. Or you notice that um, he's always making slick remarks. He thinks he's a comedian around the girls or something like that, trying to make jokes around females and stuff like that. You know, just something about him you don't like. Something about him sit right with you, or you think you and him are cool. You think of him, you and him making a connection or whatever, and then he just start acting phony. He start acting fake, or possibly act fake when he gets around to dude you met him through, you introduced him to. You know what's happened to me when I was younger? Twice. This literally happened twice on two different occasions, man. Dudes, black dudes, just like me, that I've been cool with. I introduced them to my white friend. Cause the thing with me is, I always had a female that lived in the suburbs. I was known. We lived near the hood and stuff like that. We hung out in the hood, but I always was known to go out in the suburbs and have a white girl in the suburbs, man. So being out in the suburbs, if it was late and she had to go home or whatever, obviously couldn't stay the night. Her mom wasn't having that. I was young. I was like what? I was like 18, 19, around that age, or before my early 20s. I was still young. I was cool with some of the dudes from her school that that the girls I was seeing, they're schoolmates and stuff. I became cool with this one dude. His name was Marty or whatever. I'll say his name. He not gonna watch my content. Whatever, it is what it is. But he had he lived in a nice house in the suburbs. He had a whole barber setup because his mom did hair. She dyed hair, cut people's hair, or whatever. And this is no cap. God is my witness. Listen to the story. It's a pretty cool story. I'm gonna take you back to stuff. This is stuff you experience when you hang out in the suburbs. I don't know about now, but I know when I was young. You feel me? Living in Connecticut, North Haven is the town I'm gonna tell you about. It was North Haven or whatever. But this is some stuff you experience in the suburbs. And comment down your experiences if you have any experiences being black and going to the suburbs and hanging out in the suburbs or whatever. Experience things. So, dude named Marty, like I told you, his mom did hair and cut hair. She had a whole thing. So he was cool with the Clippers. So I stayed the night at his house a few times. Me and him got tight when my girlfriend had to go home, and he would cut my hair, clean edge ups. He was cool dude, real cool, whatever. He smoked bud too. Had a jacuzzi, had a pool, basketball court. He was into sneakers. They also had a wine cellar. His parents had a wine cellar in the basement where they made wine. So my first time trying wine, oh man, I got tore up off of like not even a full glass of wine. It was crazy. It was a really cool experience, or whatever like that. He had a pool table, stocked with food, tons of cereal and good food and stuff like that. So I would stay the night, whatever. We would chill on the weekends after my girlfriend went home and stuff like that. After I was done seeing her, and I would get a fresh edge up, hang out, have a good time. And I ended up introducing them to one of my black friends that I was friends with for a few years, ever since middle school. And this is going into like high school, late high school. Can you believe him and they got close, like tight, to the point where me and Marty started beefing. Me and the white dude that I met through started beefing, and me and my homie that I introduced him to, the black dude, we started beefing too, and they became cool and tight. And then Marty went and thought he was a blood and tried to be with the Bloods and be hood and all this stuff. And me and him started beefing, and me and him almost threw hands. Yep. And it was all because they were jealous of me, man. Both of them collided together. Was probably talking so much junk about me, and they were jealous because I had the female. The female I had, she had a crazy body for her age. I'm not even lying to you. She had a crazy body for her age. Her face wasn't all there. She had braces, was trying to work on her teeth, but her body was crazy. And that's why I was with her. She was a virgin, and I was trying to be with her so I could take her virginity or whatever. I liked her, whatever, but I wanted to take her virginity. And yeah, nice boobs, big butts, small, not fat anywhere, just where they need to be fat. And yeah, man. So I knew they were jealous of me, but it's happened to me another time too. Another time it happened to me where I'm not gonna get into that the second other time, but it happened to me again too, where same thing. I was cool with this white dude. I introduced him to my other black dude. They becoming cool, and they both started acting fake. But those are just two examples of how you be cool with dudes, man. They switch up on you, and you find out that dudes were really jealous of you the whole time, and you thought they were really your friends, man. I had good memories with the black dude. I already told you about the memories I had with Marty, but me and the black dude, we had a lot of good memories together. Excuse me. Hanging out with females and stuff, drinking and getting high, having really good laughs. He introduced me to his stepfather's porn collection. That was a negative thing. Now that I'm older and can look back on it, man, that was negative. And that's another thing about, having friends and stuff like that, how they could influence you to do bad things. Also, I talked about how the dudes, if you didn't watch this video, if you want to go ahead and check it out, I talked about dudes jump me over a female, jump me over a girl that never wanted him. You know, a dude told his brother, a dude lied and told his brother, me and my black friend with the white friend Marty tried to jump him over a female that was mine. She was my girlfriend. He wanted her for himself, and he made up a lie. And his brother and all the dudes came into my near my house, and they jumped me. Tons of dudes. You know, I'm blessed that I ain't had no broken bones or broken face. It was tons of them. I don't know how many of them stopped me, but I heard it was a lot. I blacked out. But yeah, man. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I should have knew back then and then that I should have started hanging out, stopped hanging out with that dude or whatever that did that stuff. But yeah, man, dudes be real phony. I'm gonna tell you about one more, man. You know, this dude I was cool with, Spanish kid, whatever. We was really tight. This after me and the kid that I introduced with Marty when they started being fake. This was a few years after that. Me and I stopped dealing with them. I met this Spanish dude. He was real cool. Another dude, you know, we would hang out, play basketball together, play the video games. You know, he would cook food. He said, "You want to eat? You're hungry or whatever." Because remember, I grew up with a really poor mom or whatever. So I was always eating at my friend's house. So me and him would hang out. We became tight or whatever in the long run, whatever, and stuff like that. But years later on, we were actually cool for probably close to good, like probably a good like 10 years now. I think about it. Wow. But he did a few weird things, man. One weird thing he did was he did a shooting or whatever with this other Spanish loser or whatever. They did a drive-by shooting, and the dudes thought that I gave them the gun or whatever. So while he was locked up, I was getting fighting dudes, pretty much getting jumped, but holding my own. Also, you know, when he got out a little while after, he snuck in one of our close friends' house and through the bathroom window. He snuck in. He tried to get into the mom's bedroom because he found her mom attractive. He actually worked at the grocery store, and one of our homies' mom, she would grocery shop there, and he would flirt with her. And he was like, "Oh, I think she likes me." She was just a nice lady. She was a lady who would talk to you about God. Yes, she was very beautiful. She had really huge natural breasts, and she was skinny, slim everywhere else, very slim, pretty face. But she was a nice lady. You know, I didn't look at her like that. I thought she was attractive, but that's my homie's mom. She cooked. She would invite you over and feed you, but she would always talk to you about the word of God. She was serious about God. And she was technically married, but her husband was in Colombia. He was a president, like being like under the president, vice president in Colombia. So he wasn't really around. Maybe every once a year, or once every 2 years, he would come back. It was that type of thing. And he knew this or whatever like that. But she would come to the grocery store. He would say hi. He took everything and put stuff in his head that she wanted him. And yeah, man, he snuck into the window and crept into her bedroom, and she woke up and she screamed. And the only thing that got him caught was he dropped his ID, his wallet, whatever, with his ID in it, and he got locked up again. So, you know, that was another thing. I'm like, man, I've been cool with this dude for years, and he doing this weirdo stuff. And it's crazy. Not too long ago, about a year ago, has it been about a year or 2 years? Time goes by so fast. Probably about a year and a half, 2 years. He reached out to me. He actually here on YouTube commented on one of my videos, and you know, I want to check up on me or whatever. So, you know, I was thinking about maybe giving him a chance. Come to find out, this dude is dating my ex-girlfriend's sister, the one I just told you about in the suburbs. See how everything ties in? And that's crazy because I didn't think about it. But now that I'm dropping this video talking to y'all about it, if you're still here, thank you for still here. That all ties into kind of into my circle. It's kind of in a weird way, you know, that the girl from the suburbs and meeting Marty, and how Marty, you know, turned on me, and my homie I met years later after I was done with him and a black dude, he ends up trying to reach back out to me after those two weird things he did, and he's dating my ex-girlfriend's sister. Yeah, yeah. So crazy, man. Dudes just be weird. Dudes be weird. But besides that, after that happened, I stayed to myself, and back to what we were talking about with the warehouse job. You know, a lot of dudes, like at the warehouse job, I started to become cool with dudes from there. But again, I don't want to repeat myself, but once they see how I'm living, man, it's just dudes switch up, man. So that's why it's hard for me to make friends. That's why I feel like it may be hard for um a lot of dudes nowadays to make friends. I mean, I know that's probably tons of dudes that are friends and been friends for years, but you have to remember while you're young, if you're in your 20s, the friends you have now are not going to be your friends probably 5 to 10 years from now. You know, dudes switch up, dudes move on with their lives. Um, but mainly a lot of dudes that I was cool with were from work, from work. Not just at the warehouse job. When I worked at the sneaker job, I became cool with a lot of dudes, hanging out with managers from work outside of work, and I had a lot of first time experiences. Like with my manager when I worked for Champs, when I was living in Mass, or whatever. My first time jumping off a cliff. I can't tell you how high. It was pretty high, but I jumped off of it, and I was sore for the whole day. My neck and my back, everything was sore because I was stiff. I wasn't loose, but I was nervous. I don't do that stuff. I'm like, this is white boy stuff. But yeah, I jumped off the cliff. My first time trying Molly, and Zans was with them. You know, so I had a lot of first time experiences. You know, crazy man, crazy. Had a good time at clubs, going to a Boston nightclub out there. You know, first time with my manager, and Flow Rider perform, seen him perform, seen T Pain at Club Shrine, you know, at the Foxwoods Casino. Had some really really good experiences, man. But I want to end this video, man. This video is longer than I wanted to be. I just wanted to come up here and talk about, you know, making friends and how hard it is to make friends, to keep friends, you know, and why I stay to myself, man, because of the stuff I just told you. And you know, another thing, it would be cool to have a dude that works out hard in the gym. Be cool with like as a gym partner. You know that'd be really cool. But I'm not about to walk up to dudes and reach out. And honestly, a lot of dudes I see in the gym, they're not in shape as me. I'm not bragging or anything like that. But you know, you go check out my short. It's nothing crazy. It's just me working out my chest. And that movement may look weird. You may think what I'm doing, but I'm targeting my checks, my chest pecs. I'm targeting them, and that's a good movement to hit the upper. I seen that from a bodybuilder or whatever that works out and stuff like that. So you can see I'm not small. You can tell by my arms, man. I have shorts on my other bodybuilding channel, not here, but yeah, man. I work out my full body, and I'm in shape. And I see a lot of dudes I see in the gym. I want to work out with them or train with them because they don't look like anything, to be honest. And I'm not trying to brag or put any dudes down, but it'd be really cool to have a gym partner or something, or just that to start with, at least to begin with. But yeah, man, comment down below. Let me know about if you have any friends, how long you've been cool with them, what's your experiences as far as friends. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button, please. Like the video. Shout out to Raphael. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Shout out to CB. Um, Hold on. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to shout out a few people before we end this video. Shout out to CB12345. Shout out to Joseph Jackson. Sat Raphael Colon. Shout out to Hota, Shy Hoda 64. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Praveen. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all always commenting on the videos. Y'all always supporting the channel, man. It means a lot to me, man. Shout out to Shub Pradhan. Hopefully I said your name right as well. Yeah, man. We're going to end the video there. Peace and love.